Hello beautiful people, how are you? This is Pretty in Pink. Thank you and welcome to my channel. Today is another controversial day. I don't know how to say this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it, I guess. I have been going through some very weird experiences, spiritual experiences, and as long as I can remember, this has been happening to me. I remember when I was 7 years old, I used to sit in my bed at nighttime and just look at these. I would get visions. I would literally sit up in the bed and I would get all these visions, basically little characters that were colorful and I don't know what, but and they would just like come towards me. And sometimes, every once in a while, one of them would animate or look like an ice cream cone or a little cute little character. But mostly, from what I understand now, it was basically, I don't know, maybe some sort of information that was coming to me. I don't know, but this happened for a while, and then all of a sudden, it just kind of stopped. I don't know if it had anything to do with I was going through then or whatever, but it was a little weird. And then fast forward, actually around the same time, I remember having an out-of-body experience. It was weird. I was 7 years old at the time, and all I remember was that I was downstairs in my neighbor's apartment, and I was in this woman's room, and she and her boyfriend were basically having sex. And I was looking at them, and then I heard a voice. It was a male voice that told me that I should not be there and that I needed to leave. And I just remember leaving. I don't remember how I left or whatever. I just remember not being there anymore. And you know, that's kind of how it ended. And I had another experience like that when I think I was 14. Yeah, when I was 14, I was having this dream. It was crazy. I was like running behind this bus. I was running, and I was like, oh, this dream is so boring. I don't want to be in this dream anymore. So next thing I know, I was looking around my bedroom, like, okay, you know, and then I remembered, then I was back in my dream running. So the next day, my little brother, at the time, we were doing a lot of renovating in the house. And so we only had 2 bedrooms in the house available, so my little brother slept in the bed with my sister and I. I don't remember how old he was at the time. He was very young. But he said, Marcia, I saw you last night. It was so funny. It was so cute. He was so frightened by the whole thing. He said, I saw you, he said, you were floating over your body. He said you had this really long hair. You were wearing this white gown. And I had this look on my face like and I would have thought he was crazy, but the fact that I remember that same night looking around in my bedroom in the middle of my dream kind of made me say, you know. And I've had a couple more experiences where I like literally felt myself leaving my body, but I don't remember anything after that. Or I would have like recall being somewhere like in my dream and then literally feel myself re-enter. It's the weirdest feeling. It's like, feels like something is kind of going through your physical body. It's, you know, it's very weird. But that happened in my 20s and stuff like that. And then I hated it, honestly. I did not like it at all. And I used to pray that it would go away, and I used to get visitations a lot, very negative entities. I saw one once. It was nuts. It was basically, I used to wake up in my sleep a lot. I guess they call it lucid dreaming. I don't know. But I would wake up in my sleep and I would literally be awake, and I would hear like someone growling in my ear or something like that. At one particular night, this happened. I basically woke up. My eyes were wide open. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. all I was able to do was move my eyes, and I was like pretty much paralyzed. And I saw this black negative being literally hovering over me, growling at me. And it was possibly the most scariest moment in my life. And I think the reason why this happened to me was because I had a lot of issues at the time, and I don't know why, but you know, these things would literally come to me. But I looked over to the right of my room. I was praying and praying and praying, and as soon as I said Jesus, I saw a white beam appear into my room. It was towards the right, and it literally came and chased away this dark being. I'm laying in my bed, I'm looking, and the dark thing, like I can literally see it float through the wall behind me. And then the light came. It was like a light being, you can say, and it passed me as it chased away this dark being. And as it passed me, it left the most peaceful, most loving feeling at that time that I had ever felt in my life. And things like this had happened to me. At one point it was like nightly. I literally faced these things like nightly. And that particular night I just went to sleep. I didn't run downstairs to my mom's room. Mom! I would do that. Mom, there's something in my room. That particular night I just went right back to sleep, like nothing ever happened. It was so peaceful and so loving. And I always remember that. And other things that things that I went through, beginning age 12, I went through this like very embarrassing experience. And that same night, I'm not going to go to the details of that, but I went to bed that night and I prayed. I was like, God, please, I don't ever want to experience this again. Please just, if anything like this happens, just tell me about it beforehand. And ever since that night, I started having precognitive dreams. I would dream about buildings burning down before it happened. I would dream about friends like backstabbing me and people talking about me, and just there were times when like events would play out in my dream and it would happen exactly as it did in the dream in real life, and all I could do was just like, I didn't know what to do with this information. I was just like shake whenever it would happen, because it was, even though it happened for so long, it just literally freaked me out. And so this happened for a while, and then it just stopped. And after it stopped, I wouldn't say it stopped completely. It would only occur like when I absolutely needed it. Like for instance, if a boyfriend was cheating on me, I would dream about it, happening. Or I had a medical issue and I had a dream about that, and I called the doctor the next day, and whole big fiasco. Anyway, it turned out that I needed to go to the doctor. But anyway, more recently, I guess these things it's becoming more pronounced in my life, and I cannot pinpoint the exact thing that is causing it to do this. Only thing I can say is I've been being pulled and pushed in ways that I have never been pulled and pushed in before, doing things that I wouldn't normally consider. Like for instance, sometimes I wonder if it's, one thing that I've been pushed into was to become a vegetarian. And it turns out, I now know the reason why I should be a vegetarian, but at the time I didn't. I was pushed to like go to like a homeopath and like a chiropractor and stuff like that. I'll go into more details of this, and that's pretty much it. But things have been really, really, really taken off lately, and I will talk more about that later. Alright, thank you, have a great day, bye.